As per the monthly data released by the Association of Mutual Funds, SIP inflows witnessed record participation of over 31,000 crore rupees. But inflows, on the other hand, in equity mutual funds saw a dip of about 6% in December. In fact, participation across small, mid and large cap categories decreased on a monthly basis. My colleague Alex is here with all the key details from this month's report.
It's a decent set of numbers for the mutual fund industry as a whole. Now, bear in mind, I'll come to the theme, if you will. You can call it a gold rush, and I'll tell you why in just a bit. But first, let's look at the overall picture. There is an outflow in the month, and this is really par for the course because at the end of a quarter, you see outflows from fixed income mutual fund schemes that stood at about 1.3 lakh crore rupees. And so the outflows on a consolidated basis stand at over 60,000 crore rupees. But let's take a look at the actively managed equity category. This is something that everyone wants to look at. And you've seen inflows of about 28,000 crore rupees. This is lower than you saw in the previous month, particularly when you see that NFOs have contributed about 3,500 odd crore rupees in December, and that was lower. It was about 2,500, 2,600 in the month of November. But what is interesting is that some trends are emerging. You see a move towards diversified funds, where flexi-cap funds have once again seen net inflows of over 10,000 crore rupees and are now very comfortably the largest actively managed equity category. You've still seen decent inflows in mid-cap, small-cap, as well as large and mid-cap funds, but the net inflows into sectoral and thematic have not been very high, and that's because there is quite an excessive amount of selling that is taking place, perhaps people realizing that they didn't get into the sector that they should have gotten into over the course of the last several months. Why do I say that it's gold rush? That's because of the gold ETF number, which stands at a whopping 11,650 odd crore rupees, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is a record high number. Other ETFs also stand at 13,200 odd crore rupees of an inflow, and this is interesting because it includes silver ETFs as well. Now, this gold rush also translates in the hybrid category, and that's through something called a multi-asset fund. This is something that invests in equity as well as fixed income and also potentially commodities, which include gold and silver. And that category has gotten inflows of as much as 7,425 crore rupees. So all told, it's a good set of numbers, and that is only reinforced by a record high number by the SIP figure, which is over 30,000 crore rupees. And this is really a good sign for the equity markets at a time when there is a little bit of consolidation that is visible.